Welcome to part 13, Attracting Talent. Now this section is not specifically about recruiting. Instead, we're going to cover the broader topic of creating a team that people want to be a part of and why attracting talent is critical to your success as a design leader. It's very easy to believe that attracting talent only happens when you have a role to fill. Unfortunately, this is not the case. I found this out the first time I built a team from scratch. I moved from a well-established design team with a global reputation to a brand that had previously not been associated with product design. Despite being able to offer great work and a great package, attracting good applicants was very difficult. After limited success, I started speaking to people in the community and soon found that the brand I was working for did not have a reputation or presence in the design community at that time. As a result, I initially struggled to compete with more established design teams who had designers lining up to join. Clearly, this is not ideal. The ideal is that when you have an opportunity to grow, you select from the best possible candidates. A long recruitment process can be very costly, very time-consuming and frustrating for you, so you need to be ready. Even if your team is not in a growth phase, a team member could choose to move on and you'll find yourself scrambling. This is when I learned ABR, always be recruiting. Make no mistake, this is a major part of being a design leader. The ability to attract designers to your team is a skill for a successful design leader to hone. But don't worry, I'm going to walk you through a few ways that you can do this and how you can start building a pipeline of exceptional designers. First of all, we need to tell your story. In the meeting your team section, we looked at your one-liner and telling your team why you're there. In much the same way, you can distill you and your team's mission down to a compelling reason. A team with a strong sense of purpose can be a great attraction for designers with drive and passion who want to be a part of something meaningful. Where you tell your story is up to you. You'll need to find the platform that you're most comfortable with. For me, I started with blog posts, and then I moved to local meetups and eventually conferences. Others prefer to stick with Instagram or Twitter, maybe podcasts or YouTube posts. Find whichever works most effectively for you. The design team at Spotify have honed their story very effectively. Check out spotify.design for some inspiration. Show your successes. Now, this can be very hard for a team who's still booting up, but for a more established team, publicly sharing successes can be a good way to attract talent. Lots of teams do this by going after design awards. Being referred to as an award-winning designer or award-winning team can be really powerful, and an award can create lots of good publicity for your team. However, it can be expensive to enter, so pick your entries carefully. The design team at Etsy found an alternative way to show their successes with a periodic showcase of releases. They call it a highlight reel, and each quarter drop a rundown of all their work they've released and its impact onto a Medium article. Aligned to the community. Fortunately, the design community has a fantastic and thriving global community. There's almost limitless events, meetups, conferences, feeds and Slack channels to take part in. You can attract talent by making sure your team or your organization feature regularly in these spaces. Most events have some sort of sponsorship deal available, and this allows you to get your team in front of the community. You can even take it to the next step and work with event organizers to host events, making your team a bigger part of the event and therefore part of the conversation. Open the doors. It's much easier to attract talent to your team if your designers can see inside the team. An open approach can be much more rewarding and attractive than a locked door. The design team at IKEA has done a really good job of this with their Inside IKEA blog and Instagram feed. They simply detail the day-to-day workings of the team, their workspace and projects and challenges. The design agency Dixon Baxi have gone even further with regular photos of their studio and blog posts with their team rituals. Anyone thinking of joining either of these teams can get a strong sense of how thoughtful and engaging they are. And finally, give it away. A great way to attract talent is by making contributions to the design community. Whether it's tools or processes, it not only establishes your team as a positive contributor, but it also helps move the community along. Various teams have done this by contributing Figma plugins, training videos, or even posted their process templates online. The team at Intercom have become particularly good at this by routinely sharing everything from their prioritization systems to their career development frameworks. You can take one or all of these methods and begin attracting talent. Whichever you pick, there's a couple of pointers to remember. Firstly, make sure there's a method for people to reach out to you at any time, like a recruitment microsite. Never turn down the opportunity to meet good people. As long as they know there may not be a spot on the team right now, making a connection can lead to opportunities later down the line. Keep your net open and invite roles that you don't have yet or specialisms you might need in the future, such as illustrators or sound designers. If you have team members who are already active in the design community, work with them and support them on your quest to attract talent. And remember, always be recruiting.